Today we've got the Range Rover Sport, which as the name suggests is the sporty one, specifically the HSE Dynamic P400, which is quite a mouthful. And this one is a bit more of an acquired taste than its older sister, the Range Rover Autobiography, which is the older sister of what we have our hands on today. So let's find out what it has to offer. The first thing about the exterior we will talk about is the color, which is called Ostuni Pearl White. Ostuni is a name that originates from a city in Italy that uses this specific color in its architecture. The Sport Dynamic HSE comes with 22-inch wheels that are painted in satin dark gray color, which are wrapped in 285/45 Scorpion tires from Pirelli. The side profile has the unique Range Rover design that we got accustomed to, with retractable door handles that go flush with the body for extra aerodynamics on the road. When we come to the back, we see that unlike its older sister, it is a bit more angular. On the front, it looks a lot like its older sister, and you could easily confuse them if you don't know what you're looking at. For starters, everything on the nose is pretty much on the same level. It has similarly designed headlights that use LED technology, DRL, and light projection. You have pretty much 3 radiator grills that will help the engine cool down. The top one has the unique shape of the Range Rover radiator grill, and at the bottom closer to the lip, you'll find this bronze decorative piece that goes hand in hand with the ones on the fender and the bonnet. We also get to pick at the hardware of the 360 camera, which I believe is one of the best 360 camera systems that we have in a car today. If you are buying the Sport, this is where you're gonna spend most of your time. Unlike the Autobiography, where you will be in the back seat and getting chauffeured around, this is where you're gonna be. And from here, the Sport looks like a pretty solid car. The first thing you'll notice is that the interior is made of complete leather, apart from a few places, such as the doors, where you will find this lovely vinyl-looking material on it, and on the dashboard, where you will see what looks like stitched Alcantara. The seats are pretty comfortable, and you get the classic Range Rover adjusting handle over here. However, unlike the Autobiography, you don't get massage seats, you only get heated and cooled seats, which, let's be honest, are nothing to complain about. You do, however, still get the noise-cancelling headrest. Couple that with the really good insulation that you get already, and you're cruising like a king. The steering wheel has a pretty lovely design, and you get the haptic feedback buttons on both sides of it. One side is for cruise control and the other for multimedia usage. The cluster in front of me is a fully digital screen, which changes slightly depending on the mood that you choose. I get a heads-up display in front of me to keep my eyes on the road, and I also get 23 surround speakers that are all over the car from Meridian. And then if we divert our attention to the center console, we find that again it is very similar to the one in the Autobiography. You get the same haptic feedback screen that you find on almost all of the Land Rover cars nowadays. You can control many things from it, such as the 360 camera view that I mentioned earlier. You get satellite navigation, Apple CarPlay, and Android Auto at the same time. Underneath the screen, you find this small pocket for your phone, where it also acts as a wireless charging hub. And right underneath that, you will find the AC controls, which are physical AC controls. Stop putting AC controls in screens. And again, in the center console, you will find quite a lot of storage space. For starters, you get 2 cup holders that, if you slide backwards, reveals a sizable storage compartment. Behind that, you get a small fridge to cool your drinks on the go, and you get not 1 but 2 glove boxes. And when it comes to the back seats, there isn't much to talk about them, apart from that they are pretty comfortable and have more than decent space. Plus, they can be electronically controlled from the tailgate to free up more space for luggage. And finally, you get a panoramic sunroof that is functional to keep the children in the back entertained. So how does it drive? Well, pretty good actually. It is firm and sturdy, and it's stable, for an SUV of course. And you are in a Range Rover, so it has a strong presence on the road. People feel inclined to move out of your way. You think that would make you an entitled, spoiled brat, but unlike a BMW, it doesn't make you one. It sort of pulls you back and tells you to be better. Be calm and prestigious. It's refined and elegant. It's not an egotistical show car. You get 7 driving modes, which you can choose from this rotary knob over here, and they are pretty straightforward. For example, you have comfort, you have eco. Dynamic is a little bit of a posh sounding one, but it is basically sport mode. What it does is that it stiffens up the suspension, makes the gear shifts more accurate, and improves throttle response. But don't expect anything mind-blowing from this. It is the 6-cylinder version after all. It's got enough power to move itself, but not to humiliate others. But let's be honest, you're not buying this to go off-roading, even though it is more than capable and Range Rover has proved itself over the years. Nonetheless, you get these options: grass/gravel and snow, a mode to drive in mud, which I highly suggest to stay away from. You get a sand mode, which is the most popular in this region, and then finally a wade option, which is for water crossing. And if all that confuses you, you also have the option to let the car decide for you by simply pressing down on the mode selection knob. The adaptive cruise control is one of the most clever ones I've seen on the road, and the easiest to use as well. All you have to do is direct your attention to the small block of buttons on the right of the steering wheel. Top right is where you switch between the speed limiter or the cruise control itself. Top left is for lane keeping assist, which is doing a pretty good job at the moment, and the rest is for speed and distance adjustment. When it comes to pricing, the dynamic HSE trim level starts from, as of today, 551,000 dirhams. The one we have specifically is 600,000 dirhams, which in today's inflated luxury pricing, it's not bad at all. You get a lot of car for this kind of money. Although, in my honest opinion, if I had that kind of money, I'd probably have a little bit more. So I would put a little bit more and get myself the autobiography we reviewed last week. That one was a little bit more refined, a little bit more luxurious, and at the same time you had a better engine. Although, just like every other episode, we want to hear your own opinions. So let us know what you think about the HSE Dynamic in the comments down below. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this episode, leave a like, don't forget to subscribe, and as always, check out YallaMotor.com.